Hi guys, welcome to Sampurna, the holistic well-being program with you, me, and us together. And we have live audience, and we also are online right now, live online on YouTube. So, welcoming all the YouTube viewers also for this beautiful session on the most ugly emotion called guilt. There's nobody in the world who can say they have never gone into guilt, or they have never, or they will never go into guilt. Guilt is something which is a very uh, regular emotion. I think way back 2008 or something, I made this promise to myself that whatever happens, I will not entertain two emotions. That is, one is guilt and other is regret. Because these two emotions are so disturbing, killing, that you just cannot be yourself when you are going through guilt. And the problem with guilt is, or regret is, and today the context is only going to be guilt, so I'll keep mentioning guilt only. The problem with guilt is you cannot be yourself even when everything is going right. Some amazing moments in life, and just you're not able to enjoy it, even at times when you deserve it, because you are going through guilt, because nobody sees your guilt, nobody knows your guilt, and you have to suffer it in your own silent chambers of the heart. You can't share it. It's like, oh, guilt is something you can't swallow it, nor you can vomit it. ना तुम निगल सकते हो, ना तुम उगल सकते हो. And it is stuck. And because it is stuck, you also stuck. And this is one thing which all of us have gone through, and all of us will keep going through. But it drains you of energy like crazy. Means we all do acting now and then. I have no issue with that. But guilt is you have to permanently act outside everything is okay. See, if you're sad, no, you can be sad and you can show the world you are sad, and world will sometimes sympathize with you, sometimes empathize with you. You're angry and it is shown to the world you're angry, and people can tolerate it or accept it, or they'll give it back to you. But you don't have to be somebody inside and somebody outside when you're angry. You're miserable and you can show on the face miserable, and the world knows you're miserable. They can like you, they may not like you, they may repel, jo bhi hai, but you can have the emotion inside and you can show the emotion outside, and nobody will have an issue with the whole thing. Well, but guilt is something very dangerous, because when you're guilty from inside, outside you can't show you're guilty. So the outside people don't even know you're going through guilt. So how long can you maintain that acting where emotionally you are going through a negative emotion and you have to act very normally? Act as if nothing has happened, because you don't want anyone to know that you screwed up, you messed up, you made a mistake, or you had some blunder in your life, and you know about it. So you're not able to enjoy it. The people say, I'm feeling guilty conscious. That is one thing when you decide to confess it. But a lot of things in our life, we can't just confess it, right? It's not that we can't be confessed. We don't have the strength, we don't have the courage to confess ourselves. But we go through the guilt all the time. And our guilts have no end. Means every aspect of life we have guilt. Emotional guilt, mental guilt, social guilt, financial guilt, spiritual guilt, religious guilt. सोचो कितना कितना गिल्ट है. And at times we don't think it, we should be guilty for it. World is there to make us feel guilty. शर्म नहीं आती? इतना सब करके हंस रहा है, बेशरम. Till now you're okay only. The little child come from preschool, he's studying in preschool, comes with report card. They have report card for preschools. Can you imagine this? One of my college girls take tuition for preschooling students. Tuition for preschool. No, I'm not making you guilty about it. I'm doing a good job. You know how to sell yourself and make money out of everything. So the little one comes back home with the report card, and whatever madam gave, he or she comes and says, Mama, Mama sees round, 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 round. Everywhere round, round, round. And the child is excited. Because child doesn't understand what is called failure, what is called success, what is called. They went to school, came back, went to school because they didn't ask you to put it into school. You only told, go to school, you should go to school. Okay, must be required for me. So you didn't study because you don't know. Who studies in preschool? In college only they don't study. Preschool only study. Round, 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 round. Mummy asked, Beta, what is this? The child is excited. What, Mama? What happened? What is this now? Oh, Mama, teacher always gives stars to everybody, no? For all the good thing. This time stars were over. She gave me moon. With that round also, I was very happy. But mothers are mothers. They can't see children's happiness. Shameless flirt, this is not moon. This is zero. Do you know you have failed in examination? You failure, and on top of it, you're playing and you're happy, and this is smelling. So, and then they have one big lecture to make you feel even more guilty about it. Why from Rajasthan we came here? गांव का सब छोड़ के यहाँ पे किस लिए आए? What do you to study and become big? Otherwise, like a father, you work like a donkey all the time. The child till that time he was very happy. Okay, he didn't understand zero means failed. Now the child has to now quietly sit. These were the first instances where you start making the child feel guilty about what they have done. Otherwise, as children, we did not know what is called guilt. There was Bhagavad Gita or Quran or Bible lying in the house, and child stepped on it and walked, and he had no problem, isn't it? But baap to baap hai. Parents will come. Don't have sense or what? God's book you're keeping feet and going. पाप लगेगा तेरे को पाप. बाप को नहीं लगेगा पाप. बच्चे को नहीं लगता पाप. Well, बाप knows that it's in scripture. It's a spiritual book. It's a divine book because that's what he considers it. For him, it was some block in between. Either he kicked it or he stepped on it and went. And child is absolutely okay with it. He didn't have guilt. You introduced guilt into him as a parent. Touch. Jaja karo usko. Sorry bolo book ko sorry bolo. Krishna did not have any problem. The child stepping on it. You have. And that is how it was introduced, guilt one by one, slowly. And now we all are here, grown-up people. We are made to feel guilty, and then we know. Now today we know what guilt is all about. And then you and me suffer in guilt in the silent chambers of our heart, and nobody's bothered about it. And if you are not guilty for the mistake that you have done, then you are crucified further. Quote daily. Do you feel guilty about the whole thing? Yeah, I plead guilty for the whole thing. I understand. Those things I'm not discussing about. Don't ask me now. Do you think if somebody commits a murder or rape and then in the court they shouldn't feel guilty about the entire thing? We are not discussing that. That is crime. And there is a justice system which will take care of it. I'm talking about you and me. I am not talking from that extreme also where somebody commits rape or somebody commits a crime which is a very heinous crime and people are killed, massacred and all these things, and for that they don't feel guilty. I'm not discussing about that is right, what is wrong. I'm talking about an emotion called guilt. How it happens, why it happens, And how do you deal with it? That is the discussion here. I'm not discussing here because we are on live here, and there must be people who are not aware of a lot of things which we discuss. The context is we're discussing the emotion called guilt, not what is right, what is wrong. So, what is guilt? Let's start from there, basic, and I'm going to keep it in a very layman's language. Or if you want, I can complicate it with a lot of amazing jargons can be used. What do you want? Common language, layman language, or you want some brilliant jargons from the scientific books? It's because there is no jargons for this, and there is no book on this. It's purely from the experiences and understandings about life that you and me have to today understand this topic or this emotion called guilt. Because when guilt comes, you can't be peaceful in life. You can't close your eyes and meditate in front of your own God. You can't pray. In front of God also you feel guilty. That's the most dangerous part of guilt. You feel guilty with the people. I understand. Immature people. Understandable. In front of God, in front of divine, in front of your higher infant, in your temple, in your place of worship, then also you sit with guilt or you don't enter the place out of guilt. Then I think you need to be understanding what is guilt all about. God, divine, universe, whatever you called, Paramatma, existence, whatever you call, whatever name you give, that is all inclusive. God is all inclusive. The good plus bad plus ugly, the beautiful, everything is God. The cactus thorn also God only created. The rose flower also God only created. And the same rose flower thorns also God only put. So no devil came and put the thorns there. It's you and me with our human intelligence. We try to discriminate that thorns are not good. Thorns are not good for you, but good for the rose flower. It protects. तो फूल भी वही बनाया, कांटा भी वही बनाया. So what is wrong and what is right here? Now what is guilt? Guilt is something as simple as, I'll give an example. So when you and me were born, no, we did not have intelligence. We only have instinctive intelligence, which means we did everything instinctively. अच्छा लगा तो करना, नहीं लगा तो नहीं करना. That's how intelligence was for all of us. It is called instinctive intelligence. You like the food, you eat. You don't like the food, you don't eat. You like the person, you relate with the person. You don't like the person, don't relate with the person. That is what is your instinct. So instinctively you enjoy with this person. Instinctively you don't enjoy with the person. You know, in the same house, in the same family, in the same inner circle or second circle or the immediate family members, if you see, one chachi you like, other chachi you don't like. And you keep wondering why the child does not like. Well, other chachi comes and pulls the cheek. They almost. I remember one of my colleagues used to come and pull Arya's cheek all the time. And the moment that colleague of mine will come, Arya will disappear from there. And there are a few of them colleagues will come. When they will come, Arya will come to the room and he want to play with all of them. And I have to wonder, क्यों करता है? No, that colleague of yours, they pull my cheek like this, I feel very pain here. So instinctively, he thinks with this person, there is pain. With this person, there is pleasure. So for him now, this person is wrong and that person is right. Instinctively, I'm not saying right, I'm not saying wrong. The person's instincts tell him or her, ये अच्छा है, ये बुरा है, ये ठीक है, ये ठीक नहीं है. That is their instinctive intelligence. That is what your natural intelligence is there. Purely based on your personal experiences. Purely based on your personal experiences. Then the world start teaching you, ये ठीक नहीं है, ये ठीक है. They give you a set of rights and wrong. They educate you on few things. So the entire education, not the academical education, but the education that we give as a parent, or we give as teachers, or we give as a society to everybody, that is a intelligence that has been imposed upon you. So for you, it is not your intelligence, it is a borrowed intelligence. मुझे कहा गया है, I have been told that I am a vegetarian, I am a Jain, I am a Brahmin, so I should not touch non-vegetarian. If you had tasted non-veg from the beginning, you would have become a non-vegetarian. But because of the religion or the cult or the caste in which you are born, where non-veg is banned or barred, you never ate non-vegetarian food. So you have termed it as wrong for you, which is not wrong for any other people. For other people, instinctively they feel non-veg, aaj, wow. And those of them are pure vegetarian in the name of religion, not in the name of being actually vegetarian. You're practicing that religion or that caste in which non-veg is banned or barred. For you, instinctively is like, oh. So it's not that everything is your personal intelligence. There is always this drama happening in you and me. So keeping in layman's language, there are something like this. There is a knower in you and there is a doer in you. There is a knower in you and there is a doer in you. Doer is the one who acts, who does everything, executes. Knower is the one who knows what to do, what not to do, why to do, why not to do. They know it. Now, right now, also here in front of me, or there on the live, in front of me, one person is sitting, but in one person, there are two people sitting. One is knower, other is doer. Now, if the knower and doer are same, no guilt. Problem is when the doer does something which knower doesn't agree. I'll explain to you. For example, you are told you are a pure vegetarian, you are a Jain, you are a Brahmin, and you are supposed to only eat vegetarian. Non-vegetarian is not allowed for you, and in fact, they have given you religious connotation saying that non-veg khana paap hai. Now it's a sin. You know you should not eat non-veg, but you hide or avoid and then you eat non-veg. After eating, while eating non-veg, you don't say anything because instinctively you like it, you enjoy it. After you eat it, you feel guilty. Nobody knows about it that you ate non-veg. Nobody comes and finds out also. Nobody is even interested to check with you also. But you know, heart of the heart, the knower and the doer, there was difference in the knower and the doer. This difference is called split. When a split between knower and doer, that split is termed as guilt. So every time the knower and doer differs, or they have a difference of opinion, and if you have acted upon it, you start feeling guilty about it. You should not tell lies. झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. सत्यमेव जयते. So every time you tell a lie, nobody may know it. Nobody will not able to, because you are a professional liar. But you know it now that you lied. So everybody in the house is okay. Whatever you said, they accepted the whole thing. They believed in you. But heart of the heart, you know you lied. So the knower in you knows the doer did something which they should not be doing. You get guilt. That is called guilt consciousness. You feel guilty about it. You can manipulate a lot of things to feel okay about the whole thing. But heart of the heart, you know there's a difference between knower and the doer. So every time there's a difference between. So for example, you know cheating nahi karna chahiye. You should not copy in the examination. But the question was like you almost knew the answer. You know the answer, but you're not able to. Yes, you only want first statement mil gaya, to one small reference mil gaya, you will know the answer. So then you're internally you say, or then instinctively you want to peep here and there, and then you peeped and you saw that word and you said, "Oita." Nothing major about the whole thing, but inside you feel I copied. So copying doesn't create guilt because there are people who are left, right, center copy, and they feel wow. कुछ नहीं पढ़ना dude, बस लास्ट में जाके you should know how to copy properly. मैं तो copying करके पास हुआ. They feel proud to be copycats. And there are people do copy and feel guilty. So copying doesn't make you feel guilty. Non-veg does not make you feel guilty. Telling a lie doesn't make you feel guilty. Doing a wrong thing in the eyes of the world or you does not make you feel guilty. It's your internal system that you have created, no? Whether you have created or somebody else has created, that is responsible for the guilt that happens. By stealing things in life does not make you guilty. If you think I am not a chore, I'm not a thief, and you think thief being stealing or robbing is a wrong thing in life to do, that is as per your value system, चोरी नहीं करना चाहिए. And after that, if you steal something, then you feel guilty. And the thief who is a professional thief, if he doesn't मेरा ये मेरा नहीं है तो मेरा नहीं है, and that is your value system. So when you the knower is your value system, when you do everything as per the value system, you will never have a guilt. When your value system is something else and you do something else, that's where the guilt comes up. It pops up. It's plain simple. Nothing in the world has the power to make you guilty. It's only your internal design of knower and the doer. Now, this is as simple as this. What you to understand is this: doing is a very instinctive intelligence, because मुझे ये करने में अच्छा लगता है, मजा आता है, I enjoy doing this, so I am doing this. Knower in you is not completely designed by you. It is partially maybe designed by you, but dominantly designed by the entire world. This is what you should do. This is what you should not do. So the entire, if you see the entire basis on which we start living our life is on the basis of religion which we belong to. And all of our religions right now we have are codified religions. There are two kinds of religion. One is called analytical religion, other is called codified religion. Codified religion is basically everything is coded to you. Do's and don'ts, do's and don'ts, do's and don'ts. Everything is told you what to do, what not to do. So if you open Bible, it tells you what should you do, what you should not do. It tells you forgive the sinner 77 times. Don't ask question. Do that. What you do to others, somebody will do to you. It's told to you. Whatever you do to others, you do bad to others, somebody will do bad to you. Do good to others, somebody will do good to you. So you keep doing good in life. Simple, codified. It has been coded. Islam also coded. Everything in the Quran is coded. How to welcome the guest also is told in Quran. कि जब घर में कोई मेहमान आता है तो उसको कैसे रिसीव करना, it has been told. How to wash hands, it has been told. So as simple as the people who follow Hinduism, they will wash hands like that. The people who follow Islam, they will wash hands like that. इतना तक codified किया हुआ है, because and there is a science behind the entire reasoning behind the entire thing, because people who grew in times of Islam and Christianity did not have time to even, it did not have even there was so much poverty was there, because everything was all desert, did not have time to think and all the things. So those prophets of that time told, we have understood, we have heard the call of Allah, I have understood what Abba want to say. Christ says, I will tell you what to do, what not to do. Believe me. So do's and don'ts. Same thing happens in Bhagavad Gita. It tells you to ये करेगा तो वो होगा तो ऐसा ऐसा ऐसा. Everything is been codified. So Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, all Buddhism, these are all the codified religion. Analytical religion is basically from where Hinduism is born, Sanatana Dharma. Now, Sanatana Dharma is analytical because all wise people of those times, sages, those rishis and munis, they sat down, contemplated because there was so much vegetation in this part of the world called India. So, खाने का वांदा नहीं था. There's no problem for the eating. So they could sit, contemplate. So they did cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. Everything that you see is an effect. उसके पीछे कोई कारण रहेगा. There is a cause behind this. उस cause के पीछे एक cause रहेगा. They did all the analysis. So entire analysis of everything about life has been in Sanatana Dharma. And they are told, read Sanatana Dharma. It is written, if you do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, this will happen. And everything is analyzed, then it is left to you. You're intelligent people. God has given you intelligence. As per your intelligence, you make the choice. Abhi kya karna? If you eat non-vegetarian, this all with the pros, these are the cons. If you eat vegetarian, these are the advantage, these are the disadvantage. So now you make a choice what you want to do. It is left to you to choose what you want to do. That is as per the Sanatana Dharma. But as the world evolved, population grew, survival of the fittest was there. When survival of the fittest is there, then there is no law, there is no value system. Bhook lagi hai, bhook lagi yaar. Now I want. So, so many movies you see. You like Rocky Bhai. Why? Because he kills everybody. He kills the policeman. And there's a reason for this because his mother is dying out of, they're living out of hunger, poverty, and he does not want to be. Only then his mom told, he tells everything is money, 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 money. So only thing he wants in life is only money, 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 gold, 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 gold. His value system is paisa hai to sab jhukta hai. Is his value system. Somebody else has some other value system. So some of the values that you have having in your life on which you live your life are purely instinctive, personal intelligence. And few of the value system that we have is borrowed from the world or world has educated us. That is called conscience. What is set of rights and wrongs, set of right wrong, what codified religion has told you, or your teachers have told you, or your parents have told you, they are coded into you. That is basically called as your conscience. Knower. And what you do instinctively. I like it, so I do it. I don't like it, so I do not do it. And you think, मैंने खुद किया अच्छा लगता है क्या प्रॉब्लम है like I am pure vegetarian, my son is pure non-vegetarian. No, I don't force on him to be vegetarian because I don't, because it's your personal intelligent kernel. Because I am not somebody who is born, and for me it doesn't matter which religion I am born into because it has nothing to do with your religion if you don't follow it. Because you happen to be born in that religion doesn't mean you are like that. Only when you follow the religion and live up to the religion and live by the religious practices, then only you're called that. We want a namesake, we have a tag. I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Jain, I'm a Zen, I'm a Buddhist. So beautifully it writes, every Christian is not a Christ. Every Christian is not a Christ. Every Hindu is not a Krishna. Every Muslim is not a prophet. Only when you live by the values of the religion that you are born into or you follow, then only you become of that. When you live an inspired life, you belong to inspiration, the world of inspiration. If you don't live an inspired life, you can do programs of Deepak the Inspiration and you still live a very mediocre life. That doesn't make any sense. There are a lot of people who are inspirational to everybody, but that doesn't mean everybody in the world of Deepak the Inspiration is inspiration by itself or by themselves. So there is a knower in you, there is a doer in you, and this conflict between the knower and doer is called guilt. So a lot of people can do wrong things as per you, because there is nothing called absolute right and absolute wrong. A lot of people in the world can do wrong and be peaceful in life. So terrorist groups commit mass killing, human bomb, massacre people in the name of religion, and feel happy about it. Victory, 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 and they can go on celebrating because they killed today 100 more people. So killing does not make you feel guilty. It is a value system against which when you go, that makes you feel guilty. And this is going to be a tussle for you and me for a lifetime. Is this much clear to all of you guys? What is guilt? Guilt is nothing but the conflict between the knower and the doer. Doer is you, your personal experiences that led you to understand ऐसा करने से क्या problem है. मुझे खुद किया, I have done it myself, so I think it's absolutely okay. Knower in you is partially built by you, but most dominantly built by the outside world. Your parents have taught you, your teachers have taught you, your religion has taught you, your circle of influence has taught you, and that is what becomes the knower in you. And the biggest struggle here is because the doer is an experiential intelligence. मैं खुद किया है, क्या बुरा है इसमें? So many people smoke. So if I smoke, what is it? And when I smoked, it was okay for me. So there are people who smoke and feel good about it. And there are people who smoke and feel guilty about it. Every time you do something, I'm not even telling right and wrong or good and bad. I'm telling you, whenever you do something and at the end of it, when you feel guilty, you should know you did not do what you believe in. Or you did something which you do not believe in. After eating 25 panipuris, you feel and tell everybody, but just panipuri khaya. Wow, so excited. No guilt for you. You're happy with panipuri. Few of you, after eating 7 panipuris, you feel क्यों खाया? पेट में गड़बड़, पेट में गड़बड़, पेट में गड़बड़. Don't know why. Now you're suffering. Other 25 के बाद में he is feeling proud, bragging, celebrating, posting on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And you now want to hide everybody from everybody that you ate. So many of you, when you eat something outside, little ones, what little ones? All of them youngsters in the college, when you know you have to eat food in the house. But मैं तो रास्ते से जा रहा था, भेलपुरी खा रहा. And you ate and you come back home and mom asks you, you know what drama you have to do it. No, mummy, actually what happened? No, one big story happens. Now, I am not saying right now, but if you are feeling guilty about the entire thing, you know you should not have done that, but you did it. Or you can go and tell, Mom, I was coming, I was feeling very hungry, and then there was bhilpuri, and you know, Mama, my bhilpuri is my weakness, and I can't wait till I reach home, and you would have made some sabji roti, which I don't like, so I ate bhilpuri on the way. Now, Mummy feels guilty. You don't like the food that I make. Am I such a bad cook? And then Mummy feels bad. Mummy feels guilty about it. If your mummy is like I Vaishali mummy, she will tell Arya, Achha, you think I make bad food? Wait till you get married. All of you men who are married now, you know mummy ka haath ka khana, mummy ka haath ka khana, kuch bhi bolo. She is the best. You will not be able to confess it in front of your wife if she is there, but heart of the heart, you know, माँ के हाथ का खाना माँ के हाथ का खाना होता है, कुछ भी कर लो. But mummy feels guilty now. If you know you should do this and if you don't do it, you'll feel guilty. If you know you should not do it and if you do it, you feel guilty. So at the end of the experience, if you feel guilty, which means what you did was wrong as per you, for you. There's nothing called absolute right, nothing called absolute wrong. At the end of the experience, if you feel guilty of doing what you have done, you doubted somebody, and then you realize your doubt was wrong. Then you feel guilty about why I doubted. which means you should not doubt. That's what basically. So guilt is nothing but it's a signal which tells you there is a conflict going on between your knower and the doer. This many examples enough, or you want me to give few more? Hmm? Clear? Because then I will go to next level of examples. "45 minutes you go on watching, then everything gets over, you feel, and you always make a promise, next time I will not do. And this can be porn video, this can be smoking, this can be drinking, this can be any damn thing. This can be anything. But the end of it, when you say, I should not have done it, which means that is your guilt. Guilt means there is a gap between or a conflict between the knower and the doer. That is how guilt comes. So, what is guilt? Guilt is nothing but the split between the knower and the doer. Doer is a personal experiential intelligence which you have developed by your own personal instinctively you have built it. That is a doer in you. The knower is where partially it is your understandings about few things, and most dominantly it is the upbringing or the teachings of the outside world, from parents to your teachers to your society to your education system to religion. All that is a borrowed intelligence. That is your knower. A clear? You should know how to deal with it. Now, please don't use the entire session into your advantage. This is how guilt happens. So what is guilt? This is guilt. Why it happens? Because when the knower and doer difference is there, it happens. What to do? How do you deal with this? Knower, doer. When the knower and doer are same, you feel one, you feel in union, you feel in unison, you feel peaceful. When the knower and the doer, there's a gap split between the two, then you are two. Then it is called dual personality. Then you have an difference between your own self, you're ripped apart within yourself. This gap is called guilt. This gap is called guilt. So this is knower and doer together. This is against each other. So you don't feel one, you feel ripped apart, you feel two. So क्या करना? Do one of the things. Either change the knower or correct the doer. Do one of the things. या तो तुम जो कर रहे हो वो चेंज करो, या तो तुम जो जानते हो उसको बदलो. Either re-educate the knower. You can say, till now I thought it was not okay, but I think with my growing maturity, I feel it is okay. And you make the correction to the knower. Re-educate the knower, because knower has been educated by everybody in the world. Then with your personal growth experiences, when you come for discourses, you come for spiritual programs, when you come for higher understandings about life, when you start understanding the truths of life, laws of life, and when you start aligning with the laws of life, you realize all that I was till now believing in, what people have told, actually they have misled me or misguided me. So I need to correct my knower. And sometime as you start practicing things in life and you start seeing that by doing what I am doing, I am thinking it is right for me, good for me, but it is not giving me desired result. In fact, it is pulling me back. It is actually not making me progress. It is making me only digress in life. Then I think you should do correction to the doer in you. Till now, I thought copying was okay, but I realized at one point copying is only, a photocopy is only 1 rupee worth. Original is always original. So from now onwards, I'm not going to copy anything or anybody. I'll do everything that is absolutely original for me. I will do to that. Now you change the doer in you. So either change the knower, that means re-educate the knower, which I think you should keep, because you cannot have the see everything that is there in your life is context to that time. Examples may look little awkward to you or little out of context to you, but when you go to a club for clubbing, there's a dress code for it. Will you go in sari to a club? You're going for a club for a party. Disco night is there. Or today we have. Will you go to a bar and ask for milk, glass of milk? Will you go to a place of worship and ask for a beer bottle? No, no. So in that context, that is the dressing. In this context, that is the dressing. You go to temple, you wear sari, you wear full pant, you wear that dhoti, you wear the dress code to that place of worship. You go in that. With that, if you go to a club, a bar, a discotheque, now everybody is come with those shorts. This is for girls. Men in shorts are not allowed in clubs. Don't try it tonight. कैसे गंदे लोग हैं लोग. The girls can come in shorts, they're allowed. Men should not come in short. Might I prefer to be girl then? You go. Now, you go in dhoti and lungi to the club. You only will feel guilty sitting there. Nobody makes you feel guilty. वो तो अंदर लेगा नहीं. लेगा तो भी you feel I'm feeling out of place. Of course. So what happens? What I'm trying to make understand is every era, every century, every decade, every time period has its own context. In winter, you should do what clothing? Summer clothing or winter clothing? Common sense now. In summers, you wear summer wear. There you do not wear something which does not suit. Think about wearing a raincoat in summer and going. Does it you also know that the knower in you knows that doer is doing stupid thing. I want to be different. Half an hour you can wear in raincoat in summer and go. If it is made of plastic or rubber, so you know, you'll become melting cheese. In winter, if you wear shorts and crop tops and you go everywhere, after some time, and think of people, garam karo, yaar, garam karo. Now how it sounds, but it's because so in 1950s there was a lifestyle. So one of the common things which usually now you get to know in this part of the world is then when you are having your menstrual cycles for ladies, you should not enter the kitchen, you should not enter the puja room, and you should do 100 things. Ye nahi karna, wo nahi karna. But this whole thing was when it was then practiced when there were no sanitary pads, there was no hygienic things, there are no menstrual cups, there are 100 things which were there, which are there today, it were not there. So you have to depend on old clothes to control the entire thing. Now there are 100 things to understand here is when in those 100 years back, 50 years back, when women used to go through menstrual pain, one, it's a physically very unhygienic. Nobody feels comfortable, neither the one who is going through cycles nor the one who's around them. So there's a very unhygienic condition, number one. Number two, physically and mentally you are very disturbed, very irritated, very, you know what you go through. Emotionally you're going through your own ups and downs and mood swings. In those moments you're very negative. Your body is releasing negative vibes. Your mind is only irritated, frustrated. So there is complete negativity, aura of negativity around you. And if you are there in the kitchen or in the kitchen, why should not go? Because hygiene issue is there. In the puja room, why you should not do it? Because puja room is supposed to be the most highest energy level of place, the purest place in the entire house. In that, when you go, you are not impure because that cycle, menstrual cycle that you go, that bleeding is God's gift only, and because of that only you will be able to conceive tomorrow. So it's a great blessing of life. But in those moments you are emitting negative vibrations. Now why would you create a negativity or a feeling, or the vibes of negativity in a purest place in the entire thing? So you stay outside. And they went to the extreme of sit outside the house. Whole village knows madam ko periods hai. The idea was not to make her feel that, but the idea was that in the house, if you are there, you will pick up a fight, you will argue with everybody. And those of you women here, you know that when you're going through periods, you are in the mood swings. For small thing, you fight. So best is keep stay away. Makes sense. And in the bleeding time, menstrual cycle time, if you have sex with your woman, it's going to be unwanted issues to deal with later on. क्यों करना? Unhygienic है, जरूरत नहीं है, and that she gets so many complications. What to do? Keep them away. In that context, that value system makes sense. Makes sense. Today we are evolved scientifically. We know there can be hygiene maintained. Today, because of the education and because of a lot of exposures, women know how to manage their emotions. They can do 100 things today. Sports women are there who do swimming when they have periods. They play when they have periods. So much can happen. Only few of them go through extreme pain. It's a different story altogether. But there are painkillers. And I'm not advocating for taking all day. I'm telling you, in today's world, that kind of stringent application of those do's and don'ts on women doesn't make sense. Not required. But now we still have. That is why when you are in your periods and if you do something which you're not supposed to be doing, you feel guilty about it. Something needs correction here. That time women has to be in the home only because there was the birth rate or the ratio of children living after taking birth was not so high because medicine has not evolved so much. So out of the 13 children that were born, only 5 of them will survive. So the woman was almost in the pregnancy for every year she will be delivering children. So by the 18 she gets married. From 18 till 35, for those 17 years she will bear. All of you, so many of you, you know, you have 7 uncles, 4 aunties. Now only this generation you have seen 4 aunties and 7 uncles. Uska pehla they will be lying. That is why 100 Kauravas. It's possible. Then why 5 Pandavas? Because Pandavas did not come through a biological process. Kunti got some tapasya kar diya because her husband Pandu was not working. Some medical issue was there, so that's why what all that portion she got with one Surya ka wo, that's why Sutputra is Karna. That's how all of them were born. This was biological process. So that time they used to have 10, 20, 25 children used to be there. Because birth rate was like that. The death ratio, birth death ratio was not great. So the woman will be always in the full time in that maternity bed only. So where is the question of she working? Life grew, world grew, science grew, industrial revolution happened, so much happened. Education came, and women also getting educated. Now they also educated equally with the boys. She is also a graduate. She is also postgraduate. She also become doctor. Now the birth rate is, if you have 2 children, more than enough. Now they are limited to 1 family, 1 child because population explosion हो गया पूरा India में. So today for a woman to work makes sense because first 2-3 years she will deliver 1 child or 2 child for first 3-4. By 24 she gets married. By 25, 26, 27 she has 1 or 2 children, and the remaining till 60 you can work. 64 you can work. So from the age of 30 to next 30 years, what will she do sitting in the house? Gossip only. What will she do? Then there are maids available, there are help available. So women should go to work, makes sense. But now we have the old knower and today's doer. There's a conflict. So women are made guilty for working. क्या जरूरत है काम करने का? हम कमा रहे हैं ना. It's not about making money. It's about expressing. Now, then there is a guilt if you're a working woman. So many women in a world, in this part of the world, even after working, either they feel guilty or they are made to feel guilty because now the child is not getting enough attention. See, 50 years back also you had mummy, papa, your mummy, papa never worked, mummy never worked. What great you became. Hmm. What great I became in the whole process. My mom is housewife only, no? Nothing happened. Now they're working for last 50 years, last 25 years, women are working. The children the same problem. So whether you're properly parented or not parented, I'm not against all this. I'm not saying you should not work or should. I'm telling you the with the context, with the time. If you do not like in that season, that is the lifestyle. In that season, that is the lifestyle. If you live in a country where climate is always chilled, freezing cold, 4 degrees, 3 degrees, 2 degrees, sometimes it goes minus 5, 6, 7. There, doctors only will tell, एक rum का घोट मार लो. Take rum. You'll feel little warm inside. You'll feel good. From then you shifted from London to India. India is tropical country. In tropical country, there is nothing called cold. Even in Indian cold, even in Bangalore, if you are staying in Bangalore cold, you can live without sweaters and jackets. But you are drinking here also because London they told you it is okay to drink. In London it is okay to drink at that degrees. So with the context you should be able to. I'm trying to explain you is this only with the context. This context this has to evolve. Sometimes the knower has to evolve. Sometimes the doer has to be corrected, and this is going to be a lifetime pursuit. This is one part. The most ugliest part is even if you have done justice between knower and doer and you keep doing this shift for each other and keeping it constant, outside world is very busy making you feel guilty about everything. So first you should not go through guilt, and you know what is guilt, how it happens, what can be done about it. Sometimes you have to correct the knower, sometimes you have to correct the doer. And this education, the re-education, reconditioning, re-education, reconditioning is a lifetime pursuit till you understand this is how I want to live my life. You can have your, because God has given you and me our own intelligence now. Use it now. Okay, when you are small, when you are 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, you have not had enough experience of life. So the borrowed intelligence or the world intelligence guided you, understandable. But at some point of the time when you realize God has gifted you also intelligence, because what are they telling right and wrong, good or bad, yes or not okay, yes or no, bad, yes or no, okay or not okay, is also born from somebody's intelligence. No. You also have intelligence. Why will you disrespect and insult your own intelligence by not using it properly? Sometimes you have to ask the question why, sometimes you have to ask the question why not. And then check with the whole thing. I am not telling you what is right, what is I'm telling you at the end of the experience, if you feel guilty, then what you are doing is wrong. At the end of the experience, if you're not feeling guilty, you're feeling okay about it, good about it, peaceful about it, I think go ahead with the entire thing. No problem in the entire thing. But if you're feeling guilty, there's a gap between split between your knower and the doer. Either you recondition your doer or you re-educate your knower and make peace with yourself. And that job you have to do. Maybe sometime you have to go and check with the higher intelligence. This is what I have been doing, and at the end of the whole thing, I'm feeling guilty about it. With your experience, I have respect for you, I have trust in you, and I think your word will be final for me. Can you please suggest what can I be done? I'm thinking like that. Maybe have brainstorming, maybe bounce on the intelligence of a higher person, get a clarity, and then maybe re-educate or maybe recondition. Or if you have enough understanding, enough inputs, enough experience, enough practices that you're doing, and you realize, I think absolutely fair enough, but it's not okay. And then for you, if it's okay, it's okay. If it's not okay, it's not okay. Then after it is okay, make sure it is okay. And if it is not okay, make sure it is always not okay. Then you are peaceful in life. Otherwise, people do good and feel guilty about it. There are people who do bad and feel happy about it. What is the point? Then you lost it now. Then you feel भलाई का जमाना ही नहीं है. Then decide कर लो, I will not help anybody. Because few of you help people and they don't reciprocate properly, you feel hurt in the process, you feel bad about it, you feel guilty about being good. Stop being good then. What is the point? Do good for everybody and feel bad, feel shit, feel hurt, feel guilty about the whole thing. क्या फायदा? I'm not pushing you to do bad things in life. I'm telling you, by being good, if you're miserable, I think you do some correction here. I will help people only morally, emotionally, intellectually. I will not do help monetarily. Okay. Or few of you say, ये emotional drama I can't handle. कितना पैसे चाहिए पैसे लेके जा. You want money? I'll give the money to you. Take help from you. Don't ask me for anything because I am no one want to handle your grievances. Nor I want to give a moral support to you because I give moral support to you. You again fall and come back. I feel guilty about the entire thing. Okay, only I will give financial help. Fair enough. Somebody will do financial help and feel guilty. Somebody will give moral help, emotional help and feel guilty. So that doesn't make you feel guilty. What is the gap between knowing and doing only going to make you feel guilty? One, you yourself will not make yourself feel guilty. You have to learn to how fast can you come out of your guilt, because moment you go into guilt, this feeling the whole everybody in the world in the name of religion they're given is to papi hai. सच्चे कैसे बोले इतना गंदा सुनने लगता है ना. And people don't mind calling left right center बड़ी sinner तो पापी है तो sinner है पापी है sinner है. And then tell you also Christ died for your sins. हो गया? Will you feel very inspired or will you feel guilty about it? That is what Mahatma Gandhi did. And that is how Britishers couldn't handle him. If you don't listen to me, I won't eat. He made them feel guilty. खिलाओ मर जाएगा तो अपने पे आएगा भागो यहाँ से. And they left. Use the guilt in a positive way. Think about your mom does to you. If you don't listen to me, I will not eat from today. Whole day I'll not eat. And that mummy of yours, that day only she'll cook the favorite dish of yours. And she won't eat. The doer tells khalo. The knower tells mummy आखिर में. And if you eat it, you feel guilty about it because you are eating the food what she has cooked. And the more you eat happily, the more she will make you feel guilty about it. All of you do this drama, होता क्या नहीं होता? That is what Mahatma Gandhi used as a weapon. Made the entire British officers guilty about the whole thing. All of them left. So people, one, you should know how to deal with your guilt. Number two, don't make other people feel guilty. You as this side telling you this, don't make people feel guilty. Tell them what you think is right, you do, I'm okay with it. And then tell it properly also. उसमें भी तुमको ट्विस्ट करके बोलना है. जो करना है कर लो, मेरे को क्या है. Do what you want to do. What can I say? Who listens to me in this house? Now you're telling as you know it means no, don't do that. But you should tell. I tell Arya, you think this is what will happen if you do this? This is a consequence. आगे तेरा मर्जी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Whatever you do, Papa will be with you. I'm okay with it. I am not like a typical father who tells, ये नहीं करना. Papa, you want to do it? Do it. Then don't ask me anything if something goes wrong. Why? So only when he does everything as per me, I will stand by him. I don't want my son to be a slave to my intelligence. I want him to be a slave to his intelligence or a master of his own intelligence. बेटा करना है कर लो. In case you do something, something goes wrong, just know that Papa is there. So when tomorrow he blunders or he does something wrong, he knows one thing very clear: Papa is still with me. He'll come and tell it to me. What happens with the rest of them is, the father man tells me, "जो करना कर, कुछ होगा तो मुझे आना नहीं." A child does something because he knows, or it happens wrong only. It happens ulta ho jata hai, and they suffer in the process. Now the child is scared to go back to parents because they know dad, mom has already told me not to do. I have gone beyond their orders. Now they will give me one lecture. They will get angry. So the child starts lying. And who is responsible for that? You, because you tried to put guilt by doing like this. How much ever possible, remove people out of the guilt. First, you don't be in the guilt. Nothing called absolute right, nothing called absolute wrong. It's as per you right, as per you wrong. And make sure what is as per you right, go on doing it. What is as per you wrong, avoid it. You will be peaceful. Don't. This doesn't make any sense outside. So, which means if in traffic signal, I have decided red ho, green ho. For me, it's always go. And I don't feel guilty about jumping a signal. Okay. But when the challan will be, it will be on your name only. They'll take photo of yours. Police also became very smart. They don't know run behind you. Hey, pakad, pakad, pakad nahi. Ja, they want you to go. And now one bill will come straight away to your house, mobile, in a court of one message keep coming to me all the time now and then. In Davangere court, God knows. In court of Davangere, you have to come and pay for some bike number, car number, I don't know. Some number is there. So wrong number they have put, they keep coming to me. That fellow who has done it, he is peacefully, because he does not, he is ignorant about the mistake he is doing. Peacefully, I'm going on thinking, ये गाड़ी मेरे पास कब था, ये गाड़ी मेरे पास कब था, this number vehicle when I had bought, who, then one day I realized, hey, मेरा है ही नहीं. Few are like that only. Santa Singh was standing on the terrace. Santa Singh came running. You know what happened? What happened? Your wife ran away with somebody else. Huh? Really? There's no point living. He jumps from there. As he's coming down, he realizes he's not married only. Same is my condition. Huh? कुछ गाड़ी? I calling my driver. कौन सा गाड़ी? किधर क्या? वो क्या है? How many of you get up in the morning, see the number plate and go in the car? मैं तो नहीं करता. I straight away open the door and get in the car. So a lot of times they ask me in the toll gate, गाड़ी number बोलो. गाड़ी number It's embarrassing because I actually don't know. That's why I keep some simple number, no problem. 0009 is okay. That one Subaru I have 1943. उसका K है कि M है मुझे कुछ मालूम ही नहीं है. But it's so confusing for me. I feel so many of us don't know. So many of you don't know your own mobile number because you don't call to yourself. So now don't, that's what I told you initially, don't use the entire session to your advantage. So in traffic signal, you want to make red as green for you, go. But then if accident happens, the other person does not see the you coming and it dashes you, damages you, there is an accident or the police catches you, that consequence you have to pay. And you should say, Mera galti, I'm okay with it. Then also you don't want to agree with this. So many people break signal, you don't catch them. Array, but they are smart. You're an ass. You're got caught. Have you seen, sir, every time I've seen people, they're caught without helmet. Sir, so many of them going without helmet. That's what they're telling you. Idiot, learn from them. How to be smart in life. Do wrong and don't get caught. You did wrong and got caught, idiot. So So I am not even telling you, okay, jo karna hai kar lo. What I'm telling is, if you decide that is how you're going to be changing your doer and the knower, then whatever is the consequence of that choice of yours, be ready for the consequence. That is why your consequences will decide backwardly. If I do this, it's okay to copy for me. Okay. उसके बाद में जो consequence होगा, should be ready to bear the price for that. Okay with this? Okay, and then carry on. You'll be peaceful in life. And please don't make people feel guilty, nor allow others to make you feel guilty. There are marriages lined up in next few weeks, couple of months. Mein. People are shameless. They'll come and say, I heard you got your daughter married. Yeah. You didn't call me only. Yes. Oh, yaar, kar sakti ho. Oh, sleep ho gaya dimag se. Other fellow. Leave it. I know you become big now. हम तो छोटा लोग हैं, कैसे बुलाएगा? चुप के. Now he already feeling bad, miss kar diya. He making other feel more guilty. Next time somebody tells you like that, I came to know you got your daughter married. Yeah. You didn't invite me. Not worth it. He will feel bad. You be peaceful because people make you feel guilty and you go on feeling guilty about it. Deepak, how can we be so rude? Okay. Be decent. We came to know you got a girl married and we didn't invite us. समझ जाओ ना यार. क्या समझना? अब समझ जाओ ना यार. He'll go in guilt now. What did he try to say? समझ जाओ means ये औकात ही नहीं है क्या? What else can be the reason? No, you don't have to. I didn't say like that, okay? समझ जाओ यार आप भी. कुछ तो reason रहेगा ना. हाँ, COVID is still going in our house. Oh. Don't allow people to make you feel guilty because people love to make you feel guilty about it. Especially those of you husband, wife, those of you lovers. How many times you have done this purposely? You know the other one is doing something wrong. You know it. And he or she is doing it unknowingly or ignorantly or carried away. You want them to do the mistake. You want them to do the mistake. And after they do the mistake, they'll come and tell you. It happens. मेरा college का example लेता मैं college में. All these boys and girls, I hug everybody when they go, or whenever I'm going, all of them will come. And so many people keep coming. वो आगे पीछे घूमते रहता है. I don't know इसको hug किया कि नहीं किया. One or two of them will be missed hugging. Okay, they'll stand there only. In my mind, I think I have hugged everybody and gone. After I go in the car and I have crossed the R.R. Nagar arch, I have crossed. No, one message will come. Missed hugging you. Waiting for tomorrow. So I was there only 5 minutes back. You could have told me, no, 2 minutes रुक जा, आप मेरे को हक करना भूल गए. बोल सकते हैं ना? Is it difficult? But you like to do that. I have done it. I have been the victim of it, and I have made few people victim of it. I purposely बोलता. But it is so cheap for all of us, no. I'm not saying I have done it. So after doing it, I realized, what am I trying to do? I know she is doing something which she should not be doing, and she is unaware of it. But still, I want her to make mistake because revenge. Badla. Last time she caught me, now I want to catch her doing something wrong, and I want to make her feel guilty about it. Educated people, think about it. The most dirtiest guilt I have seen people doing it is in death house. Especially if the death is not natural death. It's an accidental death, something. They'll come and tell. Others will come and tell. Suppose that lady was driving the bus. This is a very practical experience that I have gone through. Women was driving the car, coming from, I think, Hyderabad. Just before Devanali, early in the morning, she took the driving seat because the husband was driving little sleepy. She took the driving seat. Time kharab jo bhi hai. Bad time. She hit the divider and the car collided and all this thing happened. She was saved. Husband and one son on the spot died. She and the little one survived. I went to the house and in front of everybody, I purposely go to a death house when a death happens. I may not come to the birth ceremony of children, but whenever death happens, if I come to know it is in my world, I make sure I go and visit the house, if not immediately on that day. That day I don't go because everybody is busy with this. After the 10, 12, 13 days ho jane ke baad mein, I go and I tell them because they'll. And people make you feel guilty about what not stupid is. You would have called me, I was awake only that time. How do I know when I met with an accident that you in the Bangalore in Basangudi were awake at 1 p.m. in the night or 1 a.m. in the night? How did I know? People comment. Few of them. In fact, that day I was going towards airport only. I was in airport only. If you would have called me, मेरे को सपना गिरा गया कि when an accident is happening there, you are in airport. You should have done this. You should have done that. Why you took him to that hospital? Hmm? After everything is over, everybody want to give conclusive statement. Why you went to that hospital? His private hospital only want to make money. Because of that only he died. You should have taken him to the government hospital or this hospital. That was better. And everybody come with their own theory about the entire thing. And the one who was supposed to be with the person in last breath was made to feel guilty about. You should have done this. You should not have done this. What has happened is happened over. No, see, that person should not go into guilt. We bring them into the guilt. Own family member, the child or it's a spouse or anybody in the house, come back from the house or you get to know that accident ho gaya, ghar pe, gaadi pe kuch ho gaya, gaadi se gir gaya ho gaya. The fellow is already broken his leg. He's bleeding, fracture ho gaya, pain hai. They will come and give a big lecture about the entire thing. Why are you driving the bike only? For anything there. Somebody is walking on the road, somebody comes in it. What will you tell? Why were you walking on the road? Then where do you walk? For that, they will make you feel guilty. You tell me the reason, I'll make you guilty for that. Walking on the road, will make you feel guilty. Then where do I? Why did you go in the early morning for a walk? If an accident happens in the afternoon, that is the time to go for a walk. If it happened in the night, it's heavy traffic, no? Why would you? For everything, they'll make you feel guilty. Don't go by a car, don't go by a bus, don't go by a bike. They'll make you guilty. How do you go? Flight. It is safest. At least you know your car will land somewhere. This flight will take off. And you're off. Will land or you don't know. You really think that seat belt will save your life? Honestly, keep asking you this. The aunties will keep coming and telling, "Kripya seat ki peti bandh lijiye. Seat ki peti bandh lijiye." Okay, I hold. You really think 720, 750 kilometers per hour the flight flies? If it crashes somewhere, that speed. Cycle comes 10 kilometers per hour and hits you, you can't deal with it. Cycle. 750, 800 kilometers per hour aeroplane is flying, it crashes somewhere, that jerk, that impact, seat belt will take. Seat belt is only there so that you should put when it crashes and you die in your own seat. So when they come to pick up the body, the boarding pass and the man and the seat matches. If you don't wear it, in the exchange, in the man seat, woman is found and woman seat, man is found. Then they ask, why did you go by flight? You know how risky it is. Then how do you go? In the name of religion, we put guilt. Supposed to be fasting today, no? You ate. Why did you eat this? I've seen people doing fasting and became miserable because by mistake pani pi liya, या by mistake they ate a fruit, or by mistake one chocolate they ate something they ate. Shit. ठीक है यार, tell yourself, okay, now my fast broken. No, from here 21st I'll start. Fair enough. Either change the knower or change the doer. Something you do immediately. 24 hours का है ना, because ऑस्ट्रेलिया में अभी तक tomorrow हो गया ना. You should know when to become Australian, when to become American. Suppose by the evening you break your fast, by mistake it happens. Arey yaar, chhe. Okay, American time starts. I'm still in yesterday only. They become American. Or somebody's birthday is there, and you forget the whole thing. You can tell, oh, I think as per Australian time, happy birthday to you. So somebody, as per American time, happy birthday to you. I wished you on the same day. Right now, I'm calling from America. I'm calling from Australia. But get rid of this guilt. Otherwise, you can't be peaceful in life. And there are so many, in the name of relationship, we make guilty. Parents also. क्या क्या नहीं किया तेरे लिए? कोई तो बोल रहा, बताओ क्या क्या नहीं किया? I want to know today, what all you did not do it? Parents ये क्या बकवास कर रहा है? क्या क्या नहीं किया तेरे लिए? बताओ, मेरे को जानना है, मेरे को. I want to know today, क्या क्या नहीं किया तुमने मेरे लिए? All of you boys, girls, they're going to use this not tonight. Next time when dad mom tells no, पता है युग तेरे लिए क्या क्या नहीं किया? हाँ पापा क्या क्या नहीं किया? हैं क्या क्या नहीं किया? First thing they will do is stop going to Sampurna from today onwards. That is what DEEPAK teaches you. Everything for everybody is my name only. In the name of God, you will put guilt. You're a Shaivik. You're a Shaivik. You're a Vaishnav. How can you go to Shiva temple? Shiva and Vishnu don't have problem with each other. They kept on getting incarnation and beat together only. Hanumana and Rama. Vishnu and Shiva only together. Everywhere they're together only. It's called Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, three Murti. Now you are praying to this God, buying it. Go to the Shiva Gotra. So, no, I am born in this, I came to know. Shiva Gotra, sir. Shiva Gotra, I am born in Shiva Gotra. But I speak about Krishna, I dance about Krishna songs, and I talk about Krishna so much. Now, you're a Shaivik, you're talking about Vaishnu. Because I am born in Shiva, Shiva is happy. I'm talking about Krishna, Krishna is also happy. You are problem with both. I don't go in guilt. I immediately sit and resolve it. The takeaway from the session today on guilt is this: how fast can you resolve your guilt? Guilt only is a message. There's a difference, there's a split between knower and the doer. Immediately sit and resolve it and say, आज के बाद मैं ये ऐसा नहीं करूंगा या आज के बाद मैं ऐसा नहीं सोचूंगा. One of the two you do. From now onwards, I will not do like this, or I will not think like this. Do one of the correction and resolve the whole thing and be peaceful. I will not do again. That's it. You can't come out of the guilt otherwise. People remain guilty, and other people make you feel guilty for years together. I know for families who have not celebrated birthdays or any happy occasions because somebody in the family died during the entire event. During some event, somebody died. So they think it's an jinx. अब शुक्र लग जाता है. On any celebration day, something we do, somebody died, so they don't want to do any celebration. I know for so many people don't celebrate their birthdays. Why? Because on their birthday, some loved one of them died. That year don't celebrate, no, understand it. Now onwards. These are the people on whose death people celebrate. Gaya. Dukhi Atma gaya. मजे करो. And these idiots, they also will not celebrate their birthday and they won't allow anybody else to do anything. मैं तो guilty हूँ, तुमको भी guilty बना के छोड़ूंगा मैं, छोड़ूंगा नहीं. And people dialogues are very impactful. इतना सब करके तेरे हालत से खड़ा उतरता कैसे? He almost swallowed it. He will, वापस ले पाए. In the name of studies, you will make children feel guilty. In the name of love, you make other loved ones feel guilty. In the name of religion, you'll make people guilty. In the name of God, you'll make people feel guilty. Everything. Here also they will make it. Deepak does not like this. Why you did like that? And the other person who come new into my world, they'll feel guilty about it. I know what Deepak will think about it. My world is a world of freedom. Be what you are. Be who you are. I'm absolutely okay with it. You want to call me Deepak, you call me Deepak. You want to call me sir, you call me sir. You want to call me, whatever you feel, you call. I have no problem because I know who I am. By you calling me Guruji, I don't become Guruji. By you calling me God, I don't become God. By you calling me inspiration, I don't become inspiration. You calling me Deepak does not make me. I know who I am. What you want. I have complete freedom. I believe in freedom in life. People may feel guilty. If now that you are following this path of this cult, if you go to somebody else, तो पाप लगेगा. ये मेरा श्राप है. I will use that in favor of you. From today onwards, after attending this session, if you feel guilty, मेरा श्राप लगेगा. तो कभी guilty नहीं रहेगा. हैं? क्या क्या बोले समझ में नहीं आ रहा. वही. Guilt takes away your peace, and when peace is gone, everything goes. Along with peace goes prosperity, goes happiness, goes people. You can't enjoy with people who's guilty because they are not themselves. How long will you do acting like this? Sit and resolve your guilt. Be truthful, be honest, be genuine when you're resolving your guilt. Don't use the entire thing to your advantage and make mockery of your own life. Because ultimately you will suffer, only you will suffer. You have to pay the consequence, you have to pay the consequence. And nothing called absolute right, nothing called absolute wrong. It's purely your personal rights and personal wrongs, backed up with your own personal experiences. Resolve within yourself and learn to be peaceful in life. Clear? December 1st Sunday, whenever it comes. Anybody can give me a date immediately. 4th December. So 4th December is the first Sunday of the month and last Sunday of the last Sunday of the last month of this year. Oh my God. And those of you, first Sunday of the month also will be 2nd of January. For those of you are outside Bangalore, make sure that you come to Bangalore, or those of you Bangalore, be here. We can start the entire year also together. Book your tickets now. If you book your tickets now, you'll be able to save a lot of money. Otherwise, the last moment will regret. Then that is other emotion which I don't want you to go through is regret. So plan now. You have 2 months time to plan the entire thing. Less than 2 months. 4th December, in all probabilities, I'm going to speak on my favorite topic for a long time. It's pending for years. Kama Sutra. For every topic you clap. For this only your hold is what happened? And that is one thing which you always wanted to hear. Somebody should speak properly, scientifically on Kama Sutra. So next 4th December we'll be having a session here only. Kama Sutra. CALMSUTRA. Okay? Kama Sutra. And you need it. Everybody needs it. And there are people like that outside who are. All you have to thing is don't tell verbally, you have to tell in the image. We'll go here. This is the program. Because how will you go and tell your wife, I'm going to a program called Kama Sutra? Wife will tell, करते तो कुछ हो नहीं, तो क्या जाके करना है? Kama Sutra. So you have to make the image and circulate everybody. The college boys and girls will go and tell the family, we're going to, today's session is Kama Sutra. What vulgar chairman you have in the college? Who speaks like this? But to clarify to all of you, it is basically spelled as CALMSUTRA. Kama Sutra. 4th December, it's going to be Kama Sutra. Subh Kama Sutra karna. I'll calm you down. When you calm you down, then calm will go up. Thank you for being on live. Love you so much. Bye bye. Happy day. Those of you want to continue in the experience for some time, let's be in the experience, rest of you.